I'm Dr. David Shiffman. I am a marine conservation biologist who studies sharks and how to protect them based in Washington, D.C. I'm also a public science engagement specialist and a science journalist and author. Well, I feel like most kids go through a shark thing or a dinosaur thing. And I just never grew out of mine. There are pictures when I was 3 years old with shark shirts and with shark toys. When I was 5, I told my parents I want to be a marine biologist. My dad said, I have no idea what that is, but I'll find out. And they've always been really supportive. Like all the cool kids, I went to marine biology camp in middle school and high school. I started off being sort of pure marine biology and ecology, and I transitioned in graduate school. Since these animals and ecosystems are threatened, we need to understand the human side of this. We need to understand how the science informs policy. We need to understand how to talk to people about all of these things. So I became more interdisciplinary as I advanced through grad school, but still get to work with sharks. I also do freelance science journalism. I usually write about stuff that no one else is covering. So I wait until after it's published. If there's a press release, I'm not going to touch it. And I can focus on sort of more niche issues that I am knowledgeable about because I am a subject matter area expert in there. But I would say 95% of the stories I've written have started with, wow. I like that it makes me read it and go, that's really interesting, and most people probably don't know that. I am one of the most followed scientists on social media, and I've trained a couple thousand early career researchers all over the world how to use these tools for public science engagement. And I think the people who want to do it should be more supported professionally by academia than they are. A lot of my colleagues who do this stuff, it doesn't count towards traditional hiring, tenure, promotion stuff. They have to do their traditional leadership and service activities, curriculum committee, and then they do this on the side. And this is important service. It should count as leadership and service in academia, tenure, hiring, and promotion. A thing that I teach in my workshops is communicating uncertainty is complicated. In global shark conservation research, we have this organization called the IUCN Red Lists Shark Specialist Group. And they do absolutely amazing work with data sharing and large-scale collaboration. And the way they make it happen is everyone signs this data sharing agreement. And if you share your data, that's not published yet, but because you want to get it into this big report, everyone else participating knows that they can use it after you're done. Yeah. And also, sometimes they'll reach out to you and say, hey, colleague from Brazil who doesn't have a lot of experience using this sort of analysis, can I help you and be a co-author on the paper with your data? That happens all the time, and it's great. There's a real collaborative model that has been helpful for everyone getting more publications, everyone burning through the data that's otherwise just sitting in a drawer, but also funders like it. I think that exact problem of someone does a study and then they don't publish it and then they say they're going to share the data but they never do, is a thing that private philanthropy funding does not like. And that the Shark Specialist Group is able to say, look, because of these collaborations, it didn't just generate this report, it generated these ongoing teams, it generated these ongoing projects, it generated these 30 other papers that would not have happened otherwise. We always tell people if you want to be a better writer, read a lot, right? Watch people who are good at it and learn from them. And think about not only what is the information contained in those words, but why did they organize the words in those ways? If you were trying to convey this idea, how would you do it? Things like that, what I call active analytical reading. It's a skill I try to teach my grad students. The way that I structure this graduate level science communication course is a mix of reading how-to guides produced by journals, produced by professional societies, produced by museums, and then watching people do it. There's a guide of how to give a good public presentation, verbal presentation about science, and then go watch 5 TED Talks. There's a guide to how to be interviewed by a journalist, then go listen to 5 podcasts and see how they do it. There's a guide to how to write an effective op-ed. Do that, then read 5 op-eds and compare this is that thing that it said to do. They did it really well here. Oh, this is that thing it said not to do. Why did they do that? It undermines the piece. So a mix of sort of how-to guides and foundational theory and actively observing people doing this well. One thing that people have a real advantage of in getting started in science communication right now, which was not the case when we started, is there's now whole fields of this. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are best practice guides, there are people who've studied what works and what doesn't work, and there are people who've done it successfully who would be delighted to talk to you and offer you advice. So take advantage and stand on the proverbial shoulders of giants.